Alright, what's up everybody? This is, what did I call this? Lavender coffee cold brew? Okay, yeah, so this is sort of a new format that I'm trying out. It's just me, no script, get to talk to you freely, just see what happens. So one of the things that I really wanted to cover with this new format, because it has to be animated. I really want to cover something animated. Sometimes, maybe in the future, I'll do something that's not, but for now, I want to stick to animation. And not a lot of animated stuff comes out like as fast as live action does. It just can't hold a candle to it. No pun intended. But one thing that was coming out was the Velma series on HBO Max. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard of this. I did not make a video on it or anything, but yeah, you can see it's getting pretty tanked right now. 1.5 out of 5 rating. Oh, that's how many stars it's got. This show is not good, guys. Let me just tell you right now. This is like a short kind of review, just testing the format, see if it works. This show sucks ass. So, I really don't know where to start. I guess let's just start with some reviews. That may be good. Matthew England says, 1 star. Just shows how society is destroying itself with these skin changes. Alright, not gonna touch on that. Beloved main character Scooby-Doo, replacing it with a bunch of non-villain solving replacements, which are not doing anything other than socializing with each other. Yeah, pretty much. Takes the lovable characters we know and love and creates a whole new cast of unlikable characters. Now, I did like one character in this, and I will get to him. Yeah, so as you can see, a lot of people have been comparing this show to She-Hulk, which I also won't touch. But, yeah, people don't like the character changes. Now, if you don't know anything about this show, this is basically what we're working with here. No. Where's the picture where it shows how everyone's different? There we go. Fred. Okay, looks like Fred. Yeah, Daphne. Alright, that... I don't mind. I'm not going to get political on my channel. I really don't want to. This show is trying its damned best to drag it out of me. I mean... Everything about this show is political. If you don't know already, this show, everything is political to it, It just wants to change everything. I'm pretty sure the people who made it actually hate the source material. They hate Scooby-Doo. This guy is supposed to be Shaggy, and his name is Norville. And he's not on drugs. He's totally cool. That was what made original Shaggy so good and so funny. Everyone knew he was high off his ass, and they changed it for what? For nothing. But you want to know something even crazier? This guy, Norville, he's the only good character in the show. And he's the one that got the most change. Because when you change it from Shaggy, it's not even the same guy anymore. It's not even close. So they had to write an entirely new personality for him, which everyone gets a new personality kind of, but he is actually kind of likable. He has a thing for Velma, They had a little bit of that in Mystery Incorporated, but it was the other way around, where Velma had a thing for Shaggy and not really the other way around until later. If you've seen Mystery Incorporated, spoilers, I guess. But he actually has a very well-written character. He's got most of the funny jokes, and honestly, I would watch a show with him as the protagonist. He's actually kind of likable. Now, this picture, as this thumbnail would suggest, you're thinking, no way do they show, nudity. These children are in high school. Yes, these characters are in high school. And the very first episode opens with a scene where they're all taking a shower and they're nude. I mean, there's little soap covering up a 2-inch radius on the boob, but that's not enough. These girls are in high school. You can't show that. Maybe you can, I don't know. That just pisses me off that because like this is humor. This is Amy Schumer humor. Amy Schumer. That it's just raunchy for no reason. And that's all it is. It's all raunch. Like, let's watch the trailer. Let's do live reaction to the teaser. If I can find it. It's all the way down there.
Dear HBO Max, I just learned you intend to make a genre-bending comedic origin story of Judy Jetson.
Like, first of all, animation, kind of good, kind of impressive. The lighting is nice. This has a lot of mystery incorporated style to it. There's a lot of lighting, there's colors. I mean, you know, this glow, that's like Final Space shit. I said that in my last video. So animation side, it looks kind of nice actually.
When I heard this new version of Judy Jetson wouldn't be boy crazy, the only word I had to describe my disgust is jinkies. If there is one thing the internet agrees on, it's that you should never change anything ever. I hope you die.
Okay, first of all, shut the fuck up. I mean, meta humor was funny in season 1 of Rick and Morty. A little bit in season 2, although they were pushing it. After that, meta humor not funny anymore. I'm sorry. This is not funny. The first teaser, first impression of this show is them calling out people who want original Scooby-Doo. You know, the original idea worked for a reason. So it's obviously not going to work. I support if you want to take old properties and do something new with them, modernize them a little bit. Sure, I support that. I know if it's creative, if the characters are well written, if it's a good story, fine. You do what you want. You tell your own story. But Velma is not a show that's lifting other minorities up. It's actively trying to bring others down. And I know I said I wouldn't get political, but that is not what, you know, woke culture, that's not what diversity should be. It shouldn't be you like shitting on everyone else. It just shouldn't. But I digress.
At least Judy's still white. Unknown caller. Spooky. Hello? Velma Dinkley speaking.
Hello, Velma. Do you like solving mysteries?
Yeah, but I'm actually much more three-dimensional than that.
No, you're fucking not. In the show, that's all you are, basically. There's nothing else about you. Nothing. There's nothing interesting. Like, just make the show. You don't have to make a show about making the show. This isn't Inception. Just fucking make a good show. Why can no one make a good show anymore? Even YouTube is sick of this shit. They want me to watch the good Scooby-Doo incarnation. The last one that was actually good. We just pretend like Be Cool Scooby-Doo doesn't exist. My neck hurts. This show is giving me physical pain. So, yeah. Now I'll get into the actual review of the show. I watched the first 2 episodes. In the first 20 seconds, Velma goes into this thing where she's talking about the old incarnation and, you know, Fred had a sex van or something. I don't know. Like, just tearing down the old incarnation for no reason. And in this show, they've changed all the characters. You know, they race swapped them, which, you know, whatever, that can work if they're well written. I don't care. That's fine. I don't care. They can do that. I don't have a problem with that at all. Okay, so what about Velma? Velma, well, she likes solving mysteries, and she's very meta, very aware of shit and how she is shit. Daphne is just the basic white person who is just going around making everyone's life worse because she's rich. Fred might be the worst character ever in this show. The only real thing going on with him is that he's kind of a baby. The whole spoilers, but nobody really cares about spoilers, let's be honest. The whole joke about him is that he has a tiny penis because he hasn't hit puberty yet. Remember, these are high school minors. They decided to keep going with this humor even though they're minors, but that's on them. That is completely on them. They do what they want, I suppose. So you got Velma, Fred, Daphne, Scooby-Doo, not in the show. Sorry. We couldn't fit in a talking dog, even though the whole thing is literally about the supernatural, you know what I mean? And then Shaggy, Norville, but he is actually good. He is actually well written enough and well voice acted that I'm not even going to touch him because he's alright. I like him. Also, Daphne's two moms, they're okay too. Haven't really done anything in the first 2 episodes to warrant, them being there at all or being called out, but maybe they'll get better too. Now let's talk about an actually good Scooby-Doo incarnation. Look, I know a lot of you have seen this show. It is a very, very popular show. Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated is what this show is trying to do. Be a more adult-oriented Scooby-Doo. It's got darker themes, actual death. Fun fact, is it the last episode or the second to last episode of this entire 2-season show, they shoot a child. Obviously it's off screen and you can hear the gunshots, but this child actually dies by way of Gatling gun. And that is very adult oriented, but it's not to the level of gross out humor, just saying fucking bitch and shit everywhere just because you want to. It's actual finesse. With adult animation, things like Family Guy, it has a certain personality. Velma, on the other hand, is very conflicted with what it wants to be. There's a specific moment at the end of the first trailer that calls out people who watch cartoons.
You know what 420 is, right?
Yeah. It's code for adults who still watch cartoons.
See? You're an adult cartoon. Why are you trying to put those people down? I don't understand. If you said incel, that's general enough where you're not directly hurting your audience, even though you probably are.
Still watch cartoons.
Why though? Why can't you just make a good show? I don't understand. When you're trying to be more diverse, I think that's great. But when you give directors who want to make things more diverse, you have a director that wants to make a more diverse show about diversity. When you give them, when they come up with shit scripts and you let that slide, and you let it get made, then it just tarnishes the reputation of diversity in these shows. So then studios will say, oh, that got really bad reviews, that didn't make any money. That's hurting our brand. Now, this show that is trying to make a difference in a toxic way is only hurting the evolution of society and diversity and how people think and act. It's just making people more averse to the idea that we can be progressive in a good, natural way. Shows like Velma are trying so hard to do that. And in trying that hard to actively drag others down is hurting their cause. So it doesn't make sense. I don't know. Bottom line is, this show is not good. It's just such a... You know what, I guarantee you, I will bet money this show has a prom or homecoming episode. No, you know what? Fuck it. Let's play Velma Bingo, and we'll see if these come true or not. Prediction number 1, prom homecoming episode. I guarantee you, this show has a prom or homecoming episode of high school, because it's just that cliche. It's trying so hard to be something different, and instead it ends up being so cliche. It's going to have one of these episodes, I guarantee you. 2, the killer is an ist. He's a misogynist, racist, sexist, and I assume it's going to be a he because, we can't have a well-written woman as the villain, or because we can't paint anybody in a bad light. But we're not sheep. We're not that simple-minded, at least I hope. A reference to Scooby-Doo? They might, but if they do, it would actively be putting him down. Not, oh god, not putting down Scooby-Doo. Jesus Christ. Tearing down an old Scooby-Doo incarnation? Yeah, we already had that in the first 20 seconds, so check our mark on that one. Velma will say the word incel at least once. At least once she will say incel. I guarantee you. If not, I will cut off my own leg, beat myself to death with it. A recreation of the OG theme song? I thought this, but after watching the first 2 episodes, I don't think they will. I don't think they've ever seen the original theme song or the show at all, so how would they know how to recreate it? Probably not. And then the last 2, zombie infection and a love potion. And I bet there's an episode in here where it's a prom or homecoming episode where a love potion gets loose, creates a zombie infection in the high school, and maybe Velma and Daphne save the day because the non-inclusive witch who made the love potion will not account for it working on non-heterosexual couples. I bet that is an actual episode that I just predicted right there. That's probably going to happen. But I'm getting too political now. I'm getting too political. I don't want to get too political. So this is the most political I'm going to ever get on my channel. Just had to pop in here real quick and tell you that Velma, it's not good. Don't watch Velma. I'm probably not helping the case for this show getting buried any faster by making a video about it. But I had to get my thoughts out on it because it's an animated thing that looked promising at one point and it didn't deliver at all. By the way, this scene in the first episode, there's like nothing behind this actual mindless violence square. It's just like an empty head cavity, but there's no guts, there's no red, there's nothing. It's literally just like a hole in her head. She looks like a Lego character. They also put a towel on Daphne, which in the episode that's not there. Now don't you people go and watch it because I said that. But they really went off the deep end with this show. And I guess I see what they were trying to do. I think they completely fucked it up. There's no good comedy. The comedic timing is really horrible. Just this whole review is falling apart because this review has the same pacing that the show does, basically. Very all over the place, have to take a second to reference how it's all over the place. But because it referenced that it's bad, then it means it's automatically good. No, it doesn't. Zaslav let this slide. He canceled Final Space, but we just had to have this. Great fucking start to the year. I don't know. What do you want from me? Look, I gotta find out who voices Norville because he is the only saving grace of this show. Obviously, Mindy Kaling is Velma. She's just Velma. Daphne, Fred, Norville, Sam Richardson. Good fucking guy. He's a good voice actor. He has pretty much one of the only good characters in this show. Thank you, Sam Richardson. I love you. Everybody else, fuck off. Jesus, I'm sorry.